Okay, now we have the YouTube stream, but we don't have the Twitch stream for whatever reason. Max, how many instances of InVank can run? Up to 8 current? I'm gonna press X to doubt. Okay. I believe we back now. We back. Okay, cool. God, multi-streaming is a fucking pain in the ass. Okay. I hit the button. I see 2 green lights. And now if I switch to face cam, nope, not display. Here we go. Booyah. It works. We got both running. And I have it synced up to where, so basically the only difference is that YouTube will have YouTube alerts and Twitch will have Twitch alerts. I cannot see Twitch chat right now, which is, oh yes, I can. Yes, I can. We're good. We're good. We're good. Now I just need to pop out YouTube chat and we'll be good to go. Pop out chat. Okay. Thanks, Raul. Okay. I think we're set up now. Whoa. We officially have a Twitch stream with enhanced broadcasting and a YouTube stream running at the same time, concurrently. Holy shit. Why was that so damn hard? Set up. Essentially, YouTube got mad at me. I started the Twitch stream first, but I didn't have a cap on how many Twitch streams I could have going at the same time, because essentially what the enhanced broadcasting does is it has your machine just produce 3 or 4 different streams at different qualities. The idea being that adding the 720p, 480p, and 260p or whatever fucking p streams to your stream is not super taxing on NVIDIA graphics cards now, or on your internet. Really, it's only like a 20%, maybe 33% increase on the internet required. So if you've got decent internet, you can essentially do 4 different Twitch streams of just 4 different qualities at the same time on the one device. But I left it uncapped. So there's a setting to like leave it uncapped how many it chooses. When I did that and I tried to stream, I tried to start the YouTube stream afterward, it was like, we can't start that many streams, chief. So I had to switch back to, I had to switch it off and set it to a limit of 3. And now we're good to go. All right. Now I'll post in the Discord. We got a stream going. And then we can start chit-chatting. Holy shit. Special stream today. Come hang on YouTube or Twitch. And then we'll grab the YouTube link. Where's the share button? There it is. Share the link. Then we'll do the Twitch. https://twitch.tv/neat on the rocks. All right. It works. Oh my God. It's been so long since I've done a proper chatting stream. It's been all, God, this screen is red. It's been all, what do you call it? It's been all Baldur's Gate lately. Yo, hiya. 58 months in a row. God damn. Coming up on 5 years. Coming up on the big 60. God damn. That is indeed a lot of months. Got Lumia stream set back up, so light reacts to subs and shit. But you guys on YouTube will have noticed that the sub alert did not come up. So alerts are should be at least working, but they should be working. That should be unique to both platforms. I think the internet's doing pretty decent as well. Should be, at least. Should be. I did kind of forget to, I'm hoping this isn't going to just completely muff up. Oh, I can adjust this dynamically, right? Hold up. I have this set to 10,000. I'll set it to 50. Okay, note to self. Note to self, YouTube viewers. If I mess with any of the settings for the YouTube stream, it immediately turns the YouTube stream off. Should just create like a little buffer thing. So it shouldn't have been a big deal, but worth noting. Twitch seems to be broken off Firefox again, not sending my resub message through. That sucks. Sorry about it, David. You're going to send 1,000 operations at once, do it as one API call instead of 1,000 requests. Yeah, that'll do it. You fell for the classic blunder, DDoSing yourself. Man, so the only thing I don't have working, which is kind of a pisser, is for some reason chat is not working. So I may just, I mean, hold up. Can I even, why? Okay. Maybe we can troubleshoot this on stream. Maybe this is content. Christ. Do I have, can I do, ugh. YouTube chat. Nope. I'd have to create a new doc. What a pisser. Okay. What's it called? Chat Ninja. Social Stream Ninja. chat overlay ninja. What's the fucking difference? Do I have the app? Hold on. Oh, I do. Hello. Okay. Activate. Oh. Activate source. I think that worked. Yo, somebody post in chat. I think that might have worked. Hey, it works. Awesome. There we go. Wait, which chat? Yes. There we go. It works! I'm only 38 minutes past when I wanted to stop having technical problems, but we got it to work. Let's fucking go. Ugh. I'm crossing the beams! I wish I could do maybe a little bit darker of a border around stuff. My hand kind of messes with the text a little bit, but looks pretty good on the Twitch stream. For some reason on the YouTube stream it looks kind of chunky. Not sure why that would be. Probably this monitor, honestly. I've got one stream on my side monitor and one stream on my like secondary monitor. I've got 4 monitors, technically speaking. I've got the main monitor, 4K 60 HDR, or 4K 120 HDR technically. Then I've got the 1440p 144, all the 1444s for that's this one. That's my secondary monitor. And I've got like a vertical monitor, 1080p, just cheap HP one. And then I've got my CRT plugged in as a monitor. But I keep it off most of the time because, yeah. Something I forgot about. I don't know. I've talked a lot about my fucking CRT on stream, but the one thing I haven't mentioned about it is that something I forgot about CRTs from my childhood up until now is that CRTs make pretty much all CRTs just make a really just high pitched whine noise. That's just like that just they just do like, and so getting used to that and tuning that back out and not feeling like I have tinnitus all the time. So I keep it off most of the time because that drives me crazy if I'm not actively playing a game or something. So I'm not sure about playing music. I don't know that I really want to do... I think I can do it to where the YouTube stream receives the VOD track from Twitch. So I could potentially do something where I do music on the Twitch stream, but not on the YouTube stream, which I think how Devin Nash does it, / maybe Harris. But not so sure. But also I've been watching more streams lately that don't have music and are just the talking bit, and I've been enjoying them more. Now, sitting here in silence and talking to the computer is a little bit disorienting, but not all that bad. So I guess we'll give it a shot. I don't know. What do you guys prefer? I know most of you guys that are here a lot are used to me playing music, but I also know most of you are going to say, yeah, we're good with it, whatever. But just for as long as I've been streaming, I get sick of my stream playlist. Even though I haven't streamed in a while. Streamed on here at least. Me playing music, shit. There you go. Ooh, just freestyle the whole stream. I couldn't even freestyle till the next whole chat received. That's one thing I have mad respect for. One of many things. I have respect for many forms of art, but freestyling and rapping, man, I can't. Cannot. The whatever neurons go from the brain to the mouth to the talking parts, speech processing thing, not my thing. Mine don't do so good. Mine not very good at it. Are we noticing a delay on the camera? Is my audio a little bit out of sync? Maybe. Feeling like the camera's got a little bit of a delay on it this time. Is that something I've done on my end? I wonder. Face cam, no camera, base. Filters. Is it properties? How do you apply a delay? I believe it's a filter, so I don't have one. Vertically, color space, video format, FPS, match output. Yeah. Maybe a tiny bit. Do I already have a delay on my audio, I wonder? Oh shit, I just opened the stream settings, which means YouTube might have gone under. No, we're good. We're good. Does not look like I have any delays. Wait, that's push to mute delay. God, how do I fucking stream? I'm no good at this anymore. Microphone. We'll just add like a 100 millisecond offset. Yeah, that might do. Is that a little bit better? 100 millisecond might be too much. But I can't tell. Boom. Okay. But anyways, welcome to the stream. Looks good. All right, cool. It's been a while, chat. It's been a while. I haven't done like a just chatting stream in quite a bit. The Twitch homies have been seeing Baldur's Gate. I've been doing a lot of that recently. But you know, I finished the game, finished our honor mode run, and now it's time to get back to it. You know, it's time to get back to my regular streams, I think. And I can tell that I'm out of practice. I can tell that it's a rough transition, especially coming out of having a game or having something to talk about, and from, you know, spending a lot of days. You know, I've gotten a little bit comfortable these days. I've gotten pretty comfortable with not talking to anybody for hours on end. From the hours of like 9 a.m. to almost 9 p.m. Whenever my girlfriend gets home, because she works quite late. From those hours, I cease to exist to the outside world. And I've just noticed like a fucking, it's really like the speech processor and like my kind of the fucking processes in my brain that handle talking to other people have atrophied. It's kind of scary, honestly. Kind of a little scary. And so I noticed that, you know, I'm having trouble. I have a lot more trouble finding my words and finding the right things to say. And I'm stuttering a lot more. Of course, it's happening when I'm more conscientious of it. But it's kind of insane how much it's atrophied, I would say. And when I'm having an active conversation, it's fine, I think. I don't notice it too much when I'm having a back and forth conversation with somebody, but I can't say it's probably that I'm not thinking about what I'm saying. I'm just talking to the person. Whereas on stream, you know, the only prompt is myself, you know. I gotta keep the tape rolling, as it were. And so, you know, sitting here, being in front of the camera, being on microphone, I mean, it's been hard. It's been hardest in my videos, I would say. But came across one of your vids one day, and I usually don't watch videos from people I don't know, but I had this weird feeling that I should, and thank goodness I did, as now I finally started my YouTube channel back. Started my YouTube channel because of you, so thank you. You are welcome, Plain Janie. You are very welcome. I'm proud of you for getting started. Thanks for stopping by. But being the videos have suffered the worst, I would say. It's hardest in my videos now. When I'm sitting down to record, I'm really stuttering on my words. I'm really kind of, even when I'm reading from the script, I'm not really getting good execution of my lines as much. So all that is to say, trying to get back in the swing of things. Part of why I want to stream. You know, I keep going back and forth. You know, a lot of people really kind of debate, and it's always kind of in the discussion about how meta is streaming exactly when it comes to, you know, this whole content creation thing. It's hard to say, you know, it's not really, nobody really knows for sure if it's even really beneficial to stream. Like if it's something that is long-term, something that brings enough, like, if it does enough for you, that if your time isn't better spent focusing on other things. But I've always loved streaming. You guys know that. And I think that it does have an important part. Streaming sparks joy, exactly. And for me, at least, I think that it's going to be an integral part of whatever I make. It's always going to remain that in some form or fashion, just because it's one of my favorite things to do. But I honestly just don't do enough, you know? I don't find the time to do it enough because, you know, I get in my head that my time is better spent focusing on other things, which it may be, but because I'm a little bit behind on a video that needs to come out soon, and I'm behind on another video that needs to come out soon, and behind on client work. I'm not behind on client work. I would say I'm not ahead in client work. So, just a matter of kind of balancing that out. But I was like, God damn it. I want to go back to streaming, and I want to really get stuff in. Let's go. I actually made it on time. You're actually 51 minutes late, but I was like 20 minutes late just setting things up. And then when we spent another 20 troubleshooting tech issues, so it's really not that late. But I used to, you know, what I really got in my head was, I think last year at some point, I went back and watched a whole bunch of streams back from when I was streaming weekly and streaming multiple times a week. on a regular schedule, which last time that happened was like 2021. And I went back and watched some of the streams. I was like, man, I am not as good at streaming as I used to be. Like, I did not just stagnate. I got actively worse. You know, I'm not as entertaining as I used to be. I'm not as active on stream. I don't have as much going on, but at the same time, that's because I was putting all of my creative energy into the stream and just the stream. And that was, you know, I was limiting my reach because of that. You know, we had a good time, the you know, 20 of us or so, the 20 of us or so that were there, on a regular basis were, you know, having a great time with it. And it was doing cool stuff. But it was not, it alone was not bringing me the material success, obviously, or really even just the satisfaction that I wanted out of my creative outlets. So, moving mostly to VOD stuff and mostly to video and mostly to YouTube, it's been kind of crazy feeling like looking back on the streams and now looking back on, you know, streams I've done recently and being like, man, I'm out of practice. Like, I got rusty, and I've not really come out of being rusty. You know, doing Baldur's Gate was fun, and doing it and not putting that pressure on myself to really make it over the top or anything more than it had to be, and just playing the game and enjoying the game and experiencing it for what it was. That let me take a little bit of a load off and made it easier to come back to doing it this way, doing this. But it's still kind of I'm still kind of in a place where I still can't help but be self-conscious about not being where I was in terms of just even being able to hold a train of thought on stream. You know, I thought getting my ADHD medicated would help with that, but it honestly really didn't. Whew. But anyway, yeah, I'm back to streaming. I put together a plan back in February, I think, is when I started it. I started actually scheduling out my weeks at least 1 week in advance. Like on Sunday, I would sit down and write myself a little schedule to adhere to for the week. I've never been good about keeping a schedule or doing like Google Calendar or anything like that. As far as like scheduling out my weeks, as far as like different tasks that are flexible and schedule in where they schedule, you know. But I was like, what if I just open a Google Doc and just like make it easy? Just like I just make a new line each week that passes by. Just don't have to overcomplicate it. Just keep it simple. And I just manually go in and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and put at least like almost like quest objectives for the day. Be like, okay, it's not like 8 o'clock do this, 9 o'clock do this, but it's more like, okay, on this day, this is going to be the main thing that I want to work on, the main thing I want to get done by the end of the day, or the main thing that I want to be able to be like, yeah, I did that today, you know. And the idea was back in like February to do one video, one short, and one stream per week. And for I think about 2.5 months that worked. The end of February into the beginning of March. And then it lasted until maybe middle of May. We were able to actually do that. And it was really fun. It was really awesome. And that was by far the most successful time that this channel has ever had. Like my content, if you will, has ever had. That was I was at my happiest with what I was doing as far as content goes. I was materially getting you know more views than ever before by a long shot. Thanks mostly to one video, but it kind of trickled down to other videos. So and then I went on vacation, And, my partner came home for the summer and I totally fell off the wagon and wasn't able to keep that up. And now she's back in school and has been. And so I have no excuse. And so I've really been kind of buckling down, getting my kind of mental health together, getting my client work kind of up to schedule. I'm not ahead of schedule, like I said, but getting up to schedule on my client work and all that, and getting into a good groove with that. And now being able to incorporate that into the same kind of weekly process of being like, okay, once a week, putting out a YouTube video, putting out a stream, putting out a short. I don't know that there will be a video this week. I do need to kind of ease into it a little bit. And it's already Tuesday. But I think it's going to be plausible. I think it's going to be feasible. It may be something where maybe it's a video every other week, just so I can do a client video every other week, to start out. But honestly, I do think it's possible to get it going to where we can do a video a week and I can do a client video a week. And if I can do that, then we're going to be in good shape. We are going to be in good shape for certain. So, yeah, that's kind of a me update. Yeah, pen and paper planners. I tried that 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row, I bought the same planner. And both years I fell off in January. And tried to jump back in and fell off. Tried to jump back in and fell off. The pen and paper never did it for me. I do carry around a notebook all the time. Write stuff down, whatever I can. But it's I've not been using it very much lately. I've been at my computer a lot more lately. I've been mostly chilling at my PC. So usually I'll write things down in a Google Doc or something. Honestly, just like, Sam does cool stuff with Notion. People do cool stuff with Google Sheets. People got their Google calendars all decked out. People got all these different apps and time management shit. 99.99% of everything that I do is done on Google Docs. Just Docs. Just Docs. I just open a Google Doc, I just start typing, and I just type out words. I just do things with words. The exception is that I use one of Sam's Notion templates for it's a thing to test out YouTube titles. It's formatted really nice, and it keeps track of like how many characters are in the title and things like that. So I use that to like type out my YouTube titles and nothing else. And then I use I'll use Google Sheets if I got to do something with a lot of math. And that's about it. Or if I got to like print out like I do like my client, I do like my invoices and shit on a Google Sheets thing, but constantly bounce between Notebook and Notion. Yo, so I forgot. We should also be able to do this. Thanks, Nog. I believe it will automatically time out. Yes, cool. So I can highlight chats to respond to them instead of having to read them out. I'm glad that works. That just works on demand. I do worry about how many moving parts the stream has now. I really try to keep the number of different programs I have to have open and things like that open for stream to a minimum these days. But I don't know. I opened them back up. I set them up a long time ago and I opened them back up today and they just worked. So I must have done something right. if I'm getting away with just OBS, Lumia Stream, and what is this called? Social Stream? Yeah, Social Stream. I'm getting away with just opening 3 programs to stream. That's no big deal. I can live with that. It's way less than I used to do. I used to have a crazy number of different plugins and shit going on. And it just got to be too much. Streaming. When I was streaming 3 times a week, it was easy to keep up with those things because it was like maintenance was like a weekly occurrence, like a daily occurrence. But when I would, take a week, take a month, take however much time between streams, and I'd come back to a stream and I'd be like, shit, how do I set this up again? Like, that's what really fucked me. And that's what really had me pull my stream back a lot. But now we've kind of got it set up to where we've got Twitch alerts, YouTube alerts, purchase alerts for products, and those are on both alert boxes. We've got a chat set up that shows chat on screen for Twitch and YouTube. We've got a cool thing that my light changes with the alerts. I think I'm happy with that. That's a pretty decent setup if you ask me. But what was I talking about? The neat experience, everybody. Forget what the fuck I was on about. So I guess we can talk about what's coming up. We got you guys want to see the thumbnail for the next video? I've shown it on I showed it on the website. First of all, we had this thumbnail for the stream today. You guys didn't I guess we could, yeah, we'll just show off some thumbnails since we've been talking thumbnails lately. And we got chat down here. Let's go. The only thing I don't like is that the chat comes from the bottom here, which I mean still makes sense, but kind of looks weird. Anyways, it's whatever. But got this one going today. Was pretty proud of it. Got kind of a little bit bloated, based on what I wanted to do, but I thought it would. I thought it'd be a cool concept. So we got vignette. We got Sanic in the front. He's got a couple of different glows on him. Or actually, he's got just one inner shadow and one outer shadow. To kind of have it be like the screen's projecting some light onto him and also giving him a little bit of a shadow onto the foreground and the background. And I think I did this with just a brush on the pixel layer. And then we got the TV. Well, we got a brightness contrast adjustment first. And then we've got the TV. And it's got like a glow layer. The TV itself, which took away the Sega, wrote neat, because I'm a narcissist. Got the screen cropped out, and then just 2 different pipes. Made these from like a syringe, I think, in Sonic Mania. And then the foreground layer and the background layer, which comes from Studiopolis Zone. So what was it? It was like this one, that one, brightness contrast, this Sanic, and the vignette. Yeah. This is Affinity Photo, which is my graphic software of choice. I guess I need to save this at some point, but let me open up. Anyways, if you guys want to see the new thumbnail for the new video, This is probably the thumbnail I'm most proud of. It's my favorite thumbnails I've made so far. I showed it off once already on the website. That's www.neilontherocks.com. But where the fuck is it? I need to clear out my. I've got literally the last 5 years of thumbnails all in one folder of all of my YouTube thumbnails. So I really need to organize this shit. It's also all the project files for the thumbnails, so most of them are duplicated. So what would it be called? Hold on. B, C, D, E, F. Ah, here we go. Booyah. This is going to be the Sonic 3 video. Ugh. Ugh. This is the one that probably took me the longest and took me the most work to make out of all the thumbnails I made. What are the main benefits / differences to using this program over Photoshop? The main one is you're not paying monthly. You buy it once. It was $100 for the entire Affinity Suite. You get photo, designer, and publisher for like $100. I do too, David. I took the so this down here in the bottom left is the actual stage kind of graphic. Kind of like on this one where we've got the stage graphic just kind of flat here. And then these red and white pipes are usually actually like little kind of like spinners or whatever you would call them. They're like almost like barbershop type tubes in the level. And so I just took one and just kind of flattened it out and thought it would make for a fitting kind of floor that would make it seem like it's one kind of floor design, if that makes sense. And it turned out even better than I imagined. And then just adjusting Tails' sprite. Tails' sprite was pretty easy. I'm pretty sure the only thing I changed about this sprite is I made his eyes be pointing to the right, as if to watch Supersonic speed by him. Getting the Supersonic sprite right, though, was really difficult. I really had to finagle a few sprites together. I don't know that I have the like worksheet on GIMP open anymore. But taking a few different Supersonic sprites and just completely Frankensteining them together to get this perspective on this one, and then really going in and editing pixel by pixel the different parts of his face to get him facing toward the camera or like just past the camera was really difficult. But then it was just a matter of getting everything in place. So we have okay, so there's only 2 layers. I was originally gonna have, why did I have Sonic as the yeah, so initially I had Sonic watching Supersonic run by. I'm not sure what the decision there was about. Here we go. This was the floor. The original floor. So you can kind of see it's got kind of red and white, and so I just kind of matched it up. I probably should have matched it up, like have it be kind of straight and then have it be so it's almost like wrapping around, give it a little bit of extra depth, but oh well. So we can get rid of that layer. Drag Sonic to the bottom here. And then I could actually just go and disable each one. So we got the text here. Simple text. I like to do a subtle gradient on all my text. So blue to white on the word flow. I initially had the blue be the same exact hues as the balloon here. But instead I decided that the thumbnail looked better and was more eye-catching when this like shade of blue, when these shades of blue weren't anywhere else in the photo. these like specific hues and shades of blue don't appear anywhere else in the frame. And so I thought that was a little bit more eye-catching. And so I went with that instead of just having it be all symmetrical and shit. Then we've got a subtle blue to kind of gray, blue to light blue. Kind of like a platinum sheen type of look on this text. And then the word can't. We've got red to red to magenta type beat, and then green to light blue on the word focus. Tied in with Supersonic's eyes a little bit. And then let's see. So that was the text. What is this unsharp mask? I just had a little bit of sharpening. The vignette. Then we've got Supersonic, which I think he's got quite a bit going on. Just an outer glow, a glow on top of shadows, which you wouldn't think would work, but totally does. And then we've got kind of his Super Saiyan glow going on, which are just they're like fireball sprites. I think they are the what is it? The fire shield sprites from Sonic Mania. And they're just stretched out and motion blurred. We've got like several layers of that going on to show kind of just a lot of motion of him speeding past Tails. And then we've got another vignette going on. This one is actually specifically a vignette that's centered kind of on where Supersonic is in the frame to really bring a lot of highlight to him. You can see it just kind of like brings the eyes in, just kind of makes it feel like Supersonic is glowing without actually putting a glow effect on Supersonic. It's like playing around with exposure for all you photographer nerds. Tails is made of several elements. We've got the tail sprite. We've got the balloon. The balloon, nice details actually in his right hand and is kind of going behind his head. And then the balloon has like a motion blur that's then masked out to show that it's being blown kind of behind him. And then we've got a little bit of motion blur. I created like a motion blur layer for his hair and had it going this way so that it looked like his hair was being blown by the motion in the image. So that's Tails. Then we've got the different perspective groups on the floor to create the floor layer. And then yet another vignette, this time specifically centered on the background. And then we just have the background, which is put together from multiple layers of different background images from Sonic 3. Because the Sonic games were famous for separating their backgrounds into different layers and then scrolling them at different speeds to give kind of the parallax scrolling effect. And we've got just increasingly large. So you notice that the lens blur gets greater and greater as you go further on in the background to give it that just smoothie, that smooth depth of field effect, right? And that's the whole damn thing. And then all together now. Boom. That's a thumbnail. Whew. Just wanted to say that you've been a huge inspiration for me to go back to making videos. Thank you, Najib. I'm happy to have been a part of that. As far as other differences between Affinity Photo and Photoshop, I don't actually know. Believe it or not, I've never used Photoshop. I was not big on using the Adobe products. Ever. I've never been big on using the Adobe products, and it just kind of got to accidentally turn off this. Yeah, here we go. It just kind of got to where I was looking for different free alternatives. I was using GIMP for a while, which is this. I still use it for pixel art because for pixel art it's easier to use than Affinity. I think Affinity Designer actually has something that's decent for pixel art, but just it's kind of just it's trying to it's like trying to use. It's like trying to use a screwdriver when you need a drill. Or really, no, it's like trying to use a drill when you need a screwdriver. That's what it's like, using Affinity Designer for pixel art. What you need is just the fine touch, and you've got a drill. It's too much power. Too much power. Need something simpler. So I use GIMP for my pixel art when I'm not using a sprite. I tend to use GIMP just when it's like one sprite, because I'll just copy a sprite. We can see here how I made the neat from the Sega, which now that I'm looking at it, I did it kind of off. I guess it's technically not off center. It's just the N is wider. But I just coming in, clicking and dragging. I can literally click and drag a selection box of a sprite here, hit Control C, and then hop into Affinity Photo and Control V, and like just be able to paste stuff in. So it's really nice. Yo, Prismatic Queen, thanks for the follow. I need to see if I can exclude stream elements from the chat, the on-screen chat. Yo, I've also just noticed that the YouTube stream doesn't have the on-screen chat on this scene, which is kind of lame. I don't know why that is. Can I just hold on? I think I can fix that actually. So it should be display YouTube. Oh, actually, hold on. I think I can just go over to. Yeah, there we go. Now I've got the chat on YouTube. And then back to Twitch and exit studio mode. There we go. Booyah. I wonder if as well. Oh, nice. Yeah, I can. I can just click delete message. It will leave the on-screen overlay. Sweet. Anyways, so yeah, I don't know a whole lot of what Photoshop can do that Affinity Photo can or cannot do. What I do know is that I've been using Affinity Photo for quite a while now, and I'm just increasingly impressed with its feature set and what it can do. I also find Affinity Designer to be really great to use. And Affinity Publisher I used to make the guidebook, the Resolve guidebook, and it's been just a pleasure to use. So it's one of those things where if you're a Photoshop user, I think you could probably transfer over and it'd be pretty smooth. And there's not a whole lot I think that you would miss, because I've never felt like there was a feature that I needed on Affinity Photo that it didn't have, really. Don't be ashamed to use GIMP. GIMP is great. I use GIMP. It's so well. It's just GIMP is hard for doing the kind of the more kind of the cool effects, like getting things like the motion blur here, like if I turn off, getting things like this motion blur on the different sprites, and little things like that. That's hard. Those are the ones that are hard to do. Those are things that are hard to do on GIMP specifically, which is why I'm using Affinity. Also, the biggest thing, the coolest thing with Affinity that I like, if I can just pull something up as an example. Let me see. What actually got me to, I was making my thumbnails in GIMP until I saw this feature. And when I saw this feature, I was like, yeah, I gotta have that. I'm gonna drop $50 for design software for just that feature. Okay, let's do new transparent. And let's drag this in. Fuck, where was it? Random screenshot of me from fucking like 3 years ago. God, before I had facial hair. Imagine. Anybody remember Babyface Neat? God damn. I had more hair as well. So the biggest feature between Affinity and GIMP that got me to buy Affinity was this right here. And then subtract, yada, yada, yada. Boom, boom. And mask. Boom. And you can even go in and hit refine. Where is it? Refine, and it will, you can bring in a brush and it will try to get kind of the different things. You can even do it on your hair. That's what it's really meant for. And then you hit apply and then hit mask. And boom. You can cut somebody out. Yo, 34 months. Shout outs, David. Approaching the 3-year mark, homie. Insanity. Insanity. That's the big thing that got me going for Affinity Photo. You cannot, you've gotta, in GIMP, you gotta go in, you've gotta fucking grab the lasso tool. Where is it? I don't even know. Gotta like go in, start drawing around something, draw a manual mask. Can't be fucked. Cannot be fucked. Anymore. Hundreds of hours, potentially. Hundreds of hours saved. Just from that one feature. Just from that one feature. God damn, my saxophones looked good in this setup. God damn. Them was some good looking saxophones, man. I gotta set up my floodlights again, man. I don't know. I like having the dark background now. I like having just kind of like a super dark background. Where is it? Nope, not that one. This one. Like just having like a dark background where you can't really, like, where nothing's really distracting you, but man, I miss my saxophones looking as good as they did in that photo, man. Shit. Shit. Here we go. Yeah, anyway. It is a little frustrating that Affinity Photo and Affinity Designer have their features kind of exclusive features between the two, and they make you buy both. They definitely feel like they could just be one program. And in fact, in Affinity Publisher, you can kind of pull them into being one program. However, Affinity Publisher does kind of show the benefits of them being separate programs, because I never use Affinity Publisher. Even though it has all of the features of Photo and Designer built in, and I could just use Affinity Publisher for everything, I find myself still switching between Photo and Designer based on what I need to do. So that's kind of proof right there that their concept has some credit to it, I guess. But Affinity Designer, just the big things are that you work in vectors instead of pixels, and you just have a lot more like vector drawing and shape drawing tools. If you want to like create art and create digital art, create different shapes and create stuff from scratch, Affinity Designer is definitely the way to go. Affinity Photo really excels with like the different filters, motion blur, things like that show up in Affinity Photo. It's mostly best for putting together, photos and working on photos for sure. That's the big ones. On-screen chat caught spam and didn't show it. What happened? Unless it showed up. No, I deleted that message manually. I mentioned it. If it was just the one message. But anyway, what's up, Will? Whew. I must say, I have to admit, now that I'm back on stream, I'd initially said at the end of my Baldur's Gate playthrough that I was going to take a break from Baldur's Gate. I wasn't going to stream it or play it for a while. One of those things was true. Even though I haven't streamed it, I have still been playing Baldur's Gate pretty much nonstop. That game did exactly what I thought it was going to, and consumed my life the minute that I got it. I have now put 306 hours into Baldur's Gate 3 over the course of... when did I get this game? Fucking... I don't think it says when I bought it exactly. But I bought it in, I think, July. Kind of like late July, and I've put 300 hours into it already. Which some of that is so probably I probably don't have 300 hours in it, and I probably have, I think I have maybe 260-ish, just going off of like how many hours I have in each playthrough. I have 150 on my main playthrough, and then I have like 40 on one and 20 on another. Because I've got, well, and then 20 on another. I've got essentially 3 playthroughs going right now. I've got my solo playthrough, I've got a playthrough with my girlfriend, and I've got playthrough with my friends, and those each have, I think, 40, 20, and 20 hours in it. So probably around 250 hours, maybe 240. Because the hours that I have with the game and my girlfriend counts twice, because I'm using it off of the one copy of the game. Don't tell Larian Studios or Wizards of the Coast or Steam that I'm doing that. But if you have 2 devices and are willing to disable your internet connection, you can play LAN off of one Steam copy of a game. Don't tell anybody. Let's see here. What was I doing? Oh, yeah. Thumbnails. Come on now. Here we go. Just when I'm done working for the day, and when I'm just jazzed out. July 3rd. That's what I thought. When I'm just completely, when I'm just like peopled out and jazzed out and worked out. I just opened Baldur's Gate 3 and man, I can just fucking chug. I can just play nonstop for hours on end. As you guys know. I just finished Act 2 on my second playthrough. I think I'm about 50 hours in. Anyways, this is gonna be the thumbnail for the next video. That video should be coming out next week. Got to talk with the sponsor about that sponsored segment. That'll be in it. But once that's done, video should be able to go out probably next Friday, if I had to guess. And then after that, we'll probably do one on YouTube. Probably like I'm throwing together kind of ideas for it. But what do I have written down on my ideas board? It's kind of like I'm thinking about putting it together a video like kind of working title right now is like, what does it mean to be a YouTuber? Something like that. That's kind of a weak title. I'm not in love with that, but I kind of want to talk about like what's the difference between, you know, doing YouTube as a hobby because you enjoy it, because you love it, doing it as a business, which is different than how we normally think. Like, there are people who come to YouTube because they want to be YouTubers, right? And those people often start with it being a hobby and then they never go further than that. Then there are people who have a business or have like a product they're wanting to sell or have some kind of thing that they want to sell to people or get an audience on. And those people often use YouTube, and there's a huge market for that. And oftentimes when people are talking about YouTube advice and giving YouTube advice, those are actually the people that they're targeting. You know, I'm thinking like biggest ones are like Devin Nash, Film Booth. Film Booth is the big one. Creator Booth now is his main channel. Those channels are really, they're kind of in the YouTube advice genre, but they're specifically directed at people who want to build a business outside of YouTube and then just use YouTube as a vehicle to drive that. And then there's people who are like, I want to be a YouTuber. Like that's like YouTube is what I want to do. And I want to make videos and I want it to be sustainable as a way for me to have an income. And that is an entirely third set of people, different from the other two. And the approach to YouTube has to be different between all three. And too much YouTube advice is given, like YouTube advice or YouTube like mumbo jumbo is directed toward one group or generically kind of tries to apply to all three groups, and just isn't helpful if you don't belong to a specific group, or in the case of the advice that isn't tailored to a specific group, often isn't helpful at all. So I'm really trying to target the third demographic of people who want to be, who are hobbyist YouTubers who love making videos and then want to take that to be something and make that into something that they can rely on. That can be the thing that they do. And I think it lies somewhere in the middle. It's a balance between making sacrifices in the content to secure the bag, you know, between sponsorships and whatnot, but then also having security and where those boundaries start and end, and really just being mindful of where you take those boundaries and where you set those boundaries, so that you don't just turn into, you know, a grifter or somebody who's trying to sell you something, sell somebody something. Those are the big ones. So that's going to be the video probably, I think, after. And I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of a loose idea right now, but it feels like something that I need to talk about, that needs to be talked about, and people don't talk about enough. So if I can put that into a more structured idea that I could fit into a video, that'll be the video after this one. And then I think I'm going to probably delay. I've delayed the Sonic 3 video for so long that I kind of don't want to delay the one after it. I'll probably get started on that one pretty much immediately thereafter. I may only have one video in between. I try to put 2 videos in between each one. This time I've put 3. I've had 3 videos since the Sonic CD video, and it's been months. So, yeah, I felt that way too, Haya, and I felt like you had to choose one. Like you had to make art and have fun with the channel, or you have to run your channel like a business. And I felt like it had to be one or the other. And now I'm like, now it's very clear to me. Like it's so clear to me that unless you want to keep it a hobby, the answer is you got to do both. You can't have one without the other. Thanks, capitalism. It's rough. It's rough out here. It's rough out here. So now I've gotten kind of comfortable with and familiar with saying, okay, these are the sacrifices I make so that my channel is a business, and my channel has some business going for it in terms of like I would love to give everything away for free. And Harris used to say that was the method to grow an audience, was to just create a bunch of shit and give it away for free. And I don't know that he's not wrong. It's just that now that we have more data and we have more experience from that, I would say that giving things away for free builds a certain level of entitlement from the audience, that doesn't actually lead to a supportive community. You know, for example, Harris / really Sam's, I experienced it more in Sam's community, but I'll just switch back to the fucking talk screen. I experienced it more in Sam's community, but in Sam's community, there would be people that would show up, essentially just like asking Sam when the next like free thing was going to come out, right? Or when he was going to do the next free giveaway of this or that, this new tool, this new streaming thing. It's like there were these streamers that would come in to Harris's chat, to Sam's stream, whatever. And they would be people who wanted to make money from streaming, or wanted to take streaming more seriously, or build an audience streaming. But they wanted Harris and Sam to exclusively give everything away for free. and it's part of why Sam doesn't really make videos on his personal channel anymore, is he wanted to distance himself from that audience and that sort of like entitled, the entitlement that was built on that, which was really sad. And I found that, you know, on the one hand, well, it's difficult because part of part of my morals is that I believe information should be freely accessible. And I don't really want to be like somebody who gatekeeps like the lessons I've learned and the things that I know through like, behind a paywall. At the same time, I find that when I show up and I'm like, hey, here's some things that I've put a lot of work into, that I've built some authority on, that I've put a lot of effort into, and I'm asking for a modest amount of money in exchange for it. Here it is. I find the people that engage with that are so much more grateful, are so much more appreciative, and are so much more understanding of the fucking, whatever you want to call it, the hustle, fucking the grind, whatever fucking yucky word that has to come with being a business person on the internet. And that's been a much better experience for me. Than what I saw, same experience with his community when he stopped just putting everything out for free. So it's interesting. It's interesting how striking the balance not only has brought me a lot of personal satisfaction with how I can sleep at night, but also afford a roof over my head so that I can sleep at night. Has also bred an even better community. Like even better things have come from it as far as just having new people and great people come into the community. So really grateful. Trying to work on, so the other thing I was trying to do when I put together kind of my schedule back in February is I initially said, okay, I want to do one stream a week, one video a week, one short a week, which the short, I don't know. I'm still unconvinced. It's been years now that shorts have been a thing. Still unconvinced how viable shorts are as a way of building an audience. I've yet to see somebody besides maybe Thor, which he really had. There's a reason his shorts are. I feel like his shorts are an exception to the rule now, rather than an actual opportunity. I feel like shorts are a creator trap. I think they're kind of a noob trap. I'm not convinced. I've not seen any evidence that for somebody who has my goals and my ambitions with content creation, that shorts are really a viable option or really the way to go. And I think, like with streaming initially, I think my time is better spent elsewhere. But what was I saying? Yes. Doing one stream a week, one video a week. The other thing was one product a month. Having at least one thing a month to come out for the shop on the Neon on the Rocks website. I don't know how sustainable that is. That's quite often. I do think I could maybe create a product once a month. I think, like, as far as like just workflow goes, I think I can find the time to put together, something together that's valuable. But as far as just like the number of ideas of things that I can make, and at what point am I milking something, right? If I want to start making like DaVinci Resolve templates, how many do I release in a pack? Do I start selling them individually? Do I give some away for free? Do I charge for some? Like, that's all questions I don't want to necessarily put in the work to find the answer to, just because it's just a pain in the ass. At the same time, putting together something, pushing myself to constantly be finding something of value to put out that is valuable enough that I can say, yeah, this is worth money. This is worth somebody paying for. And seeing how that goes. Namely, this month, I'm thinking about putting together, and I should caution myself, I probably shouldn't be talking about all my plans on stream like this. I have a bad habit of doing that and then not following through with shit. But the idea kind of floating in my head right now is following up on the Sonic overlay from last year that we did for Superstars and doing one for Generations, since Sonic X Shadow Generations is coming out soon. But that comes out in like 2 weeks, and I haven't started on that shit, so unsure if that's going to happen. But maybe just put together something simple. Maybe just like 1 alert pack, and then like 2 overlays. That shouldn't be too hard. 1 Sonic, 1 Shadow. Maybe Classic, Modern, and Shadow. Unsure. I'll do the Shadow one first, probably. And then maybe rework them either into 1 or 2 more. That way, if I run out of time, I can at least put the Shadow one out, because that's going to be the one that people are interested in. And it's going to be the one that's mostly distinct from the other Sonic overlays from last year. But those overlays sold surprisingly well. Did not really think they would. I'll be for real. I was like, if I get, a handful of sales from this, I'll be happy. It won't pay for itself, but from the effort I put into it, but I'll be happy if it gets a few sales. And it actually sold pretty well. Not just like hundreds of sales, but more than I thought. I exceeded my goal with that overlay pack. So, might be something cool to put out again. So, I also won't have to I won't have to write code from scratch as far as, well, I probably will have to do some of the CSS. But I won't have to write the alerts from scratch like I did with the other one. I won't have to have 6 variations of everything, just 2 or 3. I think that's reasonable. And I think Sonic X Shadow Generations is going to be a much better game than Superstars. So I think it could drive a little bit more hype. That's kind of next on the docket as far as products goes, I think. If I don't end up going through with that overlay, I'll probably skip it. I don't know that I'll necessarily put one out after Generations comes out. I think it might be kind of past its prime. But then I also want to start working on more DaVinci Resolve tools. I think that there's a lot of opportunity for me to put together a really solid repertoire of Resolve tools. And eventually I want to create kind of my own. I want you to be able to go into video editing with a workflow that's almost like hand tailored to the kind of editing that I think makes for a good video. What that looks like, I don't know. As far as a lot of people say do courses. Other people say courses are cringe. I've never really decided which side I kind of land on. I feel like with a course, there has to be value added. It can't just be 6 hours of YouTube videos or something you might find on Skillshare. Though Skillshare is solid. It can't be just something that I would put on Skillshare, else I would just put it on Skillshare. It has to be something that warrants being paid for as its own product. So that means like probably some sort of involvement with like having some sort of interactive project, as far as like maybe I provide footage and we go through the footage in video form, as in like video tutorial form, but then people are able to kind of do homework, almost kind of do their own thing with some of the material included in the course, and then submit that for feedback. That's probably what I'm thinking. The avenue for that is really like, I can't really think of anything else that would be able to justify doing a course, because like I said, I think that knowledge itself should be free and accessible. At the same time, I think a way to do that is probably to have some sort of like maybe scholarship type almost program for the course. Like where I'm thinking like, I already have a 100% money back guarantee for all my products. Probably doing like that plus some kind of opt in, pay what you want type of thing. But but you got to be careful with that, because if you list something, pay what you want, people will come in and they will pay $0 and they will just say, oh, thanks for the free thing. But you can have something be effectively pay what you want, but not kind of frame it that way. So that people don't just feel entitled to having it for free. You know, you want to frame it as a paid product that you can give a discount on for people who need it. I think that there's a way to do that. I'm just not sure what it is yet. Something more like a workshop. Yeah, I've also thought about doing a workshop. A workshop would be interesting, doing like maybe a pre-recorded video followed by a live stream. That would be much smaller in scope, I'm thinking. A workshop, I would think, would be like maybe a 30-minute video, or something like that, something along those lines, 30, 45-minute video, and then maybe a live stream thereafter, and then have like one thing of interactive. For a course, I'm thinking like literally taking everything I know about editing and having that take up as much time as it needs to, in order to share all of it, and then create probably a video series that covers all of the same ideas, just with less depth and with more tailored to kind of the YouTube algorithm, and then and how YouTube works, and then just have a call to action in the video, be like, hey, because of how YouTube works, I'm not able to go super deep into these topics in a YouTube video. Here's the course, you know, and then include the value added stuff of like the interactive elements, the homework type stuff, the feedback avenues, things like that. Include those in there too. That's probably kind of long-term. That's kind of long-term, something I've been sitting on for a really long time as far as something I want to do. I remember, for you guys who remember when I used to substitute teach, I put together an outline for what that course would look like when I was substitute teaching. So been a while now. I've been sitting on that idea. And then honestly, even long before that. But my knowledge of editing continues to grow, and my time to put together something like that continues to shrink. So, but I think that would be a way to add a very large amount of value to the audience, and therefore make a lot of money. So that would be nice. Win-win. That would be a win-win. I gotta learn how to pay taxes. I say that. I know how to pay taxes. But I'm finally making enough from content that I probably need to be doing things a little bit. I probably need a QuickBooks account. I probably need to be managing it better so that taxes are easier. Quarterly tax is about to bite me in the ass, but that's America for you. So yeah, anyway, that's kind of an update from me as far as what's going into where I'm at, you know, as far as the business side of things goes and the behind the scenes stuff. I want to use these streams to kind of, you know, reconnect with you guys, have an ongoing relationship with the audience, as always. But I also want to use it to kind of keep you guys up to date with what's going on kind of behind the scenes. Cause I feel like that's something that I've really, that's the thing I've really lost with not streaming as much, is I feel like it's so, I've lost a certain amount of accountability, but I'm less concerned about the accountability, I'm a little bit more kind of on track. But there's a certain level of like, you guys don't know what's going on and you guys want to know what's going on. And I keep you in the dark because I don't want to be posting announcements in Discord or just like posting updates in Discord all the time. But, and then people on the website get updates. But those are exclusive to website members. And so, doing streams is a way of like keeping in touch and keeping you guys kind of up to date with where I'm at in terms of what's going on. And I like that, I think that's cool. I also want to do more games. I want to play more games on stream. I miss that. I really enjoyed playing Baldur's Gate. And now that I think I'm going to I think with this thumbnail, I finally landed on something that I'm okay reusing for just kind of generic streams. And I think we can, as long as I'm putting out videos on a regular basis, I think it would be great to have like regular YouTube streams and regularly connect with the YouTube audience. Now that we've got 24,000 subscribers on this channel, and a lot of them don't know that I stream at all. When we were really driving a lot of traffic through those videos that were popping off, we'd have sometimes 20, 30, 50 people in this chat on the YouTube stream, which was cool. But because I didn't stream consistently following that, a lot of them just like stopped in for the one time and, did it for the one time and now are, moved on. And I think that with going forward, kind of putting out, kind of re-engaging those viewers with the videos that are coming out, and really pushing the channel, continuing to push the channel forward. I think doing kind of weekly check-ins and weekly kind of connecting with you guys again be really nice. And I think with this thumbnail, we could do things, we could do whatever we want on stream now. It doesn't have to be just chatting, even on YouTube. We could do a CS2 stream or a Baldur's Gate stream, just here and there, and just have a way to just chill out and connect and make some friends on a weekly basis. I love it when people I watch are real and authentic. Lots of channels feel very corporate or distant, but I appreciate you trying to do your best for us. Thanks, Nog. What's a friend? Plywood gets it. What's up, brother? Speaking of Counter-Strike and Plywood, we still gotta log in and play one of these days, brother. Hope things are going well for you. Sorry, I got addicted to Deadlock. It's fine. I got addicted to Baldur's Gate. we both we both fell into the sweet embraces of other games. Yeah, Nog, I've always tried to keep that real. I feel like if I try to become corporate or a business with my stream or with my videos, I will become the thing I swore to destroy. I used to when I was in college, I was like, I got it in my head that I was gonna, and this is something I want to make a video on as well. I want to make a video talking about, I think. I might figure out a way to incorporate it into one of the Sonic videos, but there was this idea, because in college I decided, I was like, I want to work at Rooster Teeth, right? I was like, I don't care if I'm sweeping the floors, if I'm a janitor, if I'm fetching somebody's coffee, what I'm doing. I want to contribute to what Rooster Teeth is doing, because Rooster Teeth is doing great things as a company. The idea of like a content creation company, or just like an entertainment, like an independent entertainment company like that, was so attractive to me. and contributing to kind of the projects that they were putting out and the kind of culture that they seemed to have, at least on in front of the scenes, the opposite of behind the scenes, was so attractive to me. And I went to RTX in 2016, which doesn't feel like that long ago, but by golly, was that long ago. And while there, I listened to Bernie Burns, who's one of the founders. He said, people are constantly coming up to me and asking, how do I work at Rooster Teeth? How do I get a job at Rooster Teeth? And I was, my stomach kind of sank because I was like, oh, damn, I'm not special, But also, he was like, what I tell people is, don't go around wanting to work at Rooster Teeth. You should want to make your own Rooster Teeth. He was like, why don't you make the next Rooster Teeth? And that really didn't sink in at first. I was like, no, I want to work at Rooster Teeth. Trying to get in is hard enough. Trying to follow that act, that would be impossible, right? And so, but then, as things kind of went on, I was like, okay, that's kind of an attractive idea. Like, not just being in like the streaming business or the content creation, but content creation business or YouTube business, whatever you want to call it, but being in the empire business and building kind of a, building a platform of your own, where people can come in and, that kind of just, that started to become attractive to me. And that started to become kind of what my like long-term ambitions were in kind of just a nebulous sense. When I first kind of really started getting into making videos and such, and taking it seriously. And then as I kind of got older and wiser and got more experienced with actually making shit, number one, I realized I don't actually like working with people all that much. Not to say I don't like collaborations or whatever, but like, I don't want to be somebody's boss. Trying to think about like, thinking about having an employee or having somebody working underneath me and making creative decisions that their livelihood is dependent on, like, that is terrifying. Not to mention the ethical kind of things, the ethical kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Stipulations. The ethical stipulations I have with for-profit business, and taking somebody else's labor and taking the value that they contribute to my business and taking the cream off the top of that. That's something that I'm not really super interested in doing. And at the same time, over the course of these last 8 years, we watched Rooster Teeth implode. It literally is no more. And I got to see kind of what the politics of and the sustainability of something like Rooster Teeth is behind the scenes, which is to say there is not one. There is not sustainability, and the politics of it behind the scenes were really gross. And the company culture behind the scenes was really gross, despite, I think, a lot of people who were on camera personalities having the best intentions. Things that went on behind the scenes just were not to the level of professionality that is needed for that kind of business to be successful long term. And I think Bernie knew that, which is why he left the ship. He jumped ship. He retired basically in 21 or whatever, somewhere around there. He got the fuck out. So where was I going with this story? I was going somewhere, but that is to say, I'm no longer interested in building something bigger than myself in a way. Like, yes, the channel's already bigger than myself, but I'm not interested in having employees or having, just being the leader of like these collaborative. I'm interested in doing collaborative projects, but not being somebody who has to churn out these creative projects and have people contributing to my creative projects as an employee. I'm just not, it's just not something that I'm interested in doing. I'd rather empower people to create for themselves rather than, and doing that rather than doing that through employment, do that through helping people to be independent. I think that that's way more in line with my kind of like just my like personality, my material kind of goals and my politics even. So yeah, I don't remember why I got on this story. there was a reason I came in, I guess because of Nog's comment about things being authentic instead of corporate and distanced. I realized recently, not that recently, but feels like recently somehow, that really authenticity there is nothing more important to me than authenticity when it comes to what I'm making. Like, there is not really any sort of, I think it really started to solidify when people started to reach out for sponsorships, and I had the opportunity to capitalize on this huge influx of people that were introduced to my content through a video that blew up. And a lot of sponsorships started reaching out. I say a lot, really not a lot, but compared to zero, it was a lot. And some of them I have worked with and am working with. And there were some of them that I was like, it just would not be. And of course, it was the ones that were offering the most amount of money. But there was one that was just not something that I could, that it would be inauthentic of me to really try to just plug this product. And I was like, I'm not, especially not now, not out the gate, right? Not the very first sponsorship I do. I've got to hold on to my authenticity for as long as I possibly can, hopefully forever, because that's the only thing I have. Anybody can be some corporate shill, right? The only thing I can be is authentically me, right? That's all I've got. That's all I've got to offer. Otherwise, I'm just if I'm not authentically neat, right? I'm just another white guy with glasses that's just talking about whatever bullshit, I've got to lean into what separates me from every other fucking average Caucasian dude that thinks he deserves a platform, right? So, all that is to say, authenticity good, corporate bad. Now I have also started to appreciate having a certain level of distance. I used to be way too just like open about things, just like needlessly giving away personal details on stream in the hopes of like building stronger like personal connections. And while I think personal stories and stuff like that are still like, I'm still going to share those. Like, I'm not going to like just pretend like I don't have a personal life or a life outside of stream or stuff. I'm definitely much more cognizant of like what I consider appropriate and not appropriate to talk about on stream and share on stream now. And I'm paying a lot more attention to that going forward. For just privacy's sake, because there was a time I really kind of, I had kind of like an epiphany of like just how much of my life I was sharing with the internet on a weekly basis, and it kind of made me a little bit existential. And that kind of it kind of made it hard to get back into streaming. It kind of was something that I was nervous, I was like uncomfortable. It was like streaming was no longer a comfortable place after that, especially once more people started coming in and I had more attention on me, on myself. That got a little scurry. I must admit. But never scary in terms of like people sending me weird messages or anything like that, or people saying things that were inappropriate or knowing details of my life that they shouldn't, at least at this point. But I've been watching a lot of Devin Nash recently because he's recently come back to streaming, and there's a lot that I disagree with Devin Nash on. But he shared his kind of philosophy going forward, with him coming back to streaming, and he's like, I'm just not. He said, I've noticed that. He said we have to be careful not to victim blame, but he said that I have noticed that there is a certain correlation between streamers who have problems with people getting too parasocial and getting too involved with their social life and their personal life, and a correlation between the streamers that have a problem with that and the YouTubers that have a problem with that, and the YouTubers and streamers that share a lot of personal details on stream and just talk and talk about themselves a lot on stream. He said there are people who stream a lot, who are always on camera, who produce a lot of content that don't have nearly that same problem because they do not cultivate parasocial relationships in the same way. And I realized that I was, when I reflected on it, I was when I look back at kind of some of my old streams and kind of some of the old ways that I would conduct myself on stream, and some of the ways that I would like frame my streams, there was a huge kind of I noticed that the more I shared and the more personal I got, the easier people would connect with me. And that was like a path of least resistance. That was kind of like a hack to get, build personal relationships with people on stream. That got people coming to the stream more often. But at the same time, that eventually in its worst form can lead to, weird shit, and inappropriate shit. And so, I think that there's a way now to be authentic and be myself and share what I'm comfortable sharing on stream, and be myself on stream and on video, and still be a lot more cognizant of what I'm sharing and what kind of the subject matter is about, and kind of what focusing less on the personal connection being the content, like we can still have story time on stream. I can still tell you guys what's going on in my life. I'm not scared about that. But have the value of the content be in the content itself, be what we're doing on stream, what we're doing, whether that's talking about this kind of stuff, whether that's making thumbnails, whether that's making videos, whether that's playing games, whether that's working on whatever we're working on, having more of a focus on that and not relying on building parasocial relationships, and again, finding that balance to maintain the authenticity with it. That's kind of where my head's at. So, man, do I feel back in the groove? Do you guys remember when I got on stream today and I was like, stuttering over every other word? Now I'm back in the groove. Y'all got me talking about shit I'm passionate about. And it turns out all the neurons start firing. I can fucking talk. And that's why next video is going to be about the flow state. Not just for productivity reasons, but for personal satisfaction reasons. Got to de-rust the talking skill, indeed. Well said. No shame in that. Anyways, I think it's been a good stream. We've pretty much come to the end of all that I've wanted to talk about on stream today. Had a lot of people come in, say hi. I think I'm kind of happy with where stream is at. I don't know when I have to leave. I think it's moderately soon. I've got something to go to, but I don't know exactly when it's at. So I need to look into that / I need to be ready for that when it comes up. But is there anything else that we didn't bring up on stream today that you guys wanted to mention or chat about before we go? Also, I think we've successfully done a multi-stream. I think we've got Twitch enhanced broadcasting going. We've got YouTube going. We've got a different overlay on YouTube than we do on Twitch. Very similar, but different. Got things firing on all cylinders. I think I'm officially a multi-streamer. Finally, officially. Thanks, Nog. We might. I don't know yet about putting together a formal streaming schedule of like, Tuesdays at 2:00 or whatever. Still don't know how I feel about that. Just because with client work and with video work and with everything, my weeks just always look different. But I'm gonna make it a point at the start of each week, to schedule in a stream. I may even let you guys know ahead of time when the streams are going to be. And I'm gonna put some effort into planning some solid things to bring up on stream, or to maybe some videos to react to or something. Doing React content on stream is always so hard. I have a hard time with it, namely because I cannot watch videos at 1x speed. I just cannot do it anymore. For whatever reason, watching just YouTube content that's edited for just the average viewer is just so slow to me. And I just can't deal. So, and I don't know that many people want to do React streams or React content with it being at 1.5 times or whatever. I might be able to get away. Maybe we can get away with some middle ground of like 1.25x or 1.5x or something, and maybe you guys can adapt. But honestly, we may just do it. I may just do it anyway. I may just put together some videos and stuff to react to on stream, or to talk about on stream. Maybe not necessarily to react to, as in like react live, but like to bring up a video and be like, hey, there's this video I seen. I wanted to talk about it, so let's watch it together. Stuff like that. I think we can maybe do that, even if it means going through at 1.5x. Because we won't be watching it for the content. We will be watching it for the content, but you guys will be watching it for what I add to it, not what the video is, So, okay, guys, my girlfriend's calling me, which is my sign that I've got to go. So, love you. See you next time.